Alright guys, we're going to be putting the pulled pork in the smoker in the morning, and we're going to be using Killer Hog's hot barbecue rub. Coat it really on this side. Just like so. Make sure you get plenty of it in there. And now we'll flip it over. Just like that. Oh. Now we'll coat the top side. Plenty of rub, plenty of rub. Go. After I get this off camera, I'll have to tilt that up and get the edges, but it's kind of hard to do this with one hand. But this is what I'll get for right now on camera. I'll tilt it up and get those edges, and we'll get that thing in the smoker early in the morning. We'll see you then. Hey guys, it's about 5 a.m. I'm putting the meat on right now. I've got my pit boss up to about 275, 300. We're going to smoke this pork shoulder today and have it for dinner tonight for all the kids. So let's take a look at what I'm doing. I'm going to put this one in the pan. I know a lot of times I do it without the pan, just put it right on the rack to get a bark on and everything. But today, instead of going for the bark, I'm going to have it simmer in its own juices to make it good and tender. Because if any of you guys fed teenagers before, they're kind of finicky, and it's all about texture and being soft and juicy and being good to them over having a bark and competition style smoking. This is definitely not for a competition. It's just for a barbecue this afternoon. So I'm kind of being a little quiet because the rest of the house is out of sleep, and it's early in the morning. And let's get this pork on, and I'll show you what I'm doing. This is what I mean here. I'm going to leave this in the pan. Now you can see the top is just, this is the meat. The fat cap is on the bottom. I'm going to let it sit on the fat cap and simmer in those fats and juices as it cooks. And we'll leave it like that throughout the cook. When it gets up to about 165 or so, I want to cover it up. I want to let it get a little bark on top and then draw some of that smoke flavor while it's coming up the temperature. And when it gets about 165, I'm going to cover it like I usually do and let it finish to get about 205, and then we'll pull it and have some sandwiches this evening. So I'll keep you caught up on the process. Like I said, it's 5 o'clock in the morning, and let's get this on so we can have it done for dinner tonight. Okay guys, it's about 9 o'clock. I went back in and got me some sleep. This pork shoulder's been out here about 4 hours. We're cooking her right about 300 degrees. And let's see what we got going this morning. Oh boy, look at that color. Still a little sticky, but it feels good. The color's really nice though. So let's get a probe in it, see what the temperature is. Smells awesome. And we'll get an internal reading on the temperature and see if we're ready to wrap it up let it finish cooking. Alright, today I'm using my Expert Grill wireless thermometer. You can see temperature of the meat's 151. I've got my alarm set at 165. I love this thing. I can take it in the house. It'll alarm when it gets to the right temperature. I don't have to keep coming out here and checking it all the time. It's got a magnetic base. It'll stick right there. And I can run the probe right through the side of the pit balls. The pit balls comes with probes of its own, but I still have to come out here and check the temperature. So I like my wireless one, so I can go in and it'll alarm when it's ready. So I got my temperature right, I got my probe right down in there. Wire runs right out the side. Man, that looks good. It smells awesome. Can't wait. So there you go, guys. Temperature's coming up already 153. Won't be long. I'll be ready to wrap this thing and let her finish cooking and bring her inside and pull it apart. So we will catch you guys then. All right, guys. The pork shoulder got to 165. The juice is running out of that thing. Man, that thing sure looks good. Smells amazing. It'll be so good for dinner tonight. But got to 165. I'm going to wrap it. Something I like to do for the kids. The kids like a nice sweet flavor. Like I said, teenagers are pretty finicky. It's a lot about texture with them and good tenderness and flavor. So today, a lot of times I'll pour vinegar over it and some water for liquid in there while it's wrapped. Today I'm going to pour a good old Dr. Pepper right down in there. Good and sweet. Sugar will caramelize. Well, the sugar will add to the flavor, and Dr. Pepper flavor of Dr. Pepper really goes well with pork. I've used it to soak my brats in before. So 1 can of Dr. Pepper, pour it all over it, just like so. And we will wrap that up and put it back in. I'll get the probe in it, and like I said, I'm doing this with one hand, so I'll get you guys a look at it when I get it back on the smoker. Okay, guys, got it wrapped, probe back in it. We're back on the pit balls. Meat temperatures are 165. Got my alarm set at 205. When it reaches 205, should be ready to take in and pull. If you guys do a pellet smoker, I'm sure you guys do this on a regular basis, but throughout a smoke, I like to make sure I got plenty of pellets. I topped it off this morning when I got started, so I've used maybe a third of the pellets, and I've kept this pit ball since been going at 300 degrees for, well, it's 9:30, so that's 4.5 hours, so that's not too bad. It burns pretty efficient. By the way, I'm using Pit Boss's hickory pellets today. I'm using the hickory pellet, so get a nice hickory smoke on that pork shoulder today. And yeah, that's all she wrote for now. We will come back when that right there alarms and tells me it's 205. We'll come back and get it out, and I'll get you tuned in on what's going on, and we'll pull it apart. And well, I'll back up. I say pull it apart, but I forget that I'll let it rest probably for about an hour after I take it out. Then I pull it apart. But yeah, when it gets 205, we'll take it in and let it rest for a little while, and then we'll pull it apart and show you how I do all this pulled pork barbecue for teenagers. So we'll see you then. All right, meat got up to temperature 205. So I brought it in. I like to let mine rest in the oven, just with the oven off. It holds the heat and lets it rest really well. I find it to be very effective. But one thing I like to do is I'll peel up one of the corners like this to let some of that heat and steam out. If you leave it sealed when you let it rest, it'll continue cooking and your temperature of the meat will keep on rising. And you don't want that. You want to stop cooking right now and rest and be ready to pull here in about an hour or so. We'll put this in the oven just like so. Put that rack back in there. If I can do it without making a mess. And there we go. And I'll let that rest in the oven for an hour, and we'll see you then. We'll pull it apart. All right, guys, here we go. This has rested for a little while. Looks really good. Actually got a pretty good bark on top of it. Pretty good. There's our bone. Let's see what happens here. Try not to disturb it too much. I don't want that juice everywhere. That's what you're looking for right there, guys. See the way that bone come out of there good and clean? Yeah. Nice and clean. I mean, she's good and tender. Now before I pull it, this right here looks like a pretty good bite. See the smoke ring in it? These pellet grills, they still get a smoke ring on it. It's not traditional smoking like in a wood smoker or a stick burner or even a charcoal smoker, but these pellet grills, they still put some smoke on, put some good flavor in. So let's get a bite here and see what we got. Oh my goodness. That is so good. So, I will get my gloves on, get into this, get it pulled apart, and we'll catch you guys when we're got it all pulled apart and ready to go. Here we go, guys. Let's pull some of this apart for you so you can see what it looks like. So, it's just really tender, juicy. Just the way you want it. It's all about consistency when you're doing pulled pork. You want it really good and tender. Get a little bark on the outside for flavor, that rub, crust on it. But the meat on the inside, you want it good and tender and juicy. Look at that. It's falling apart. It's the way you want it. Makes really good sandwiches. So, there you go, guys. Some pulled pork from the West Virginia Grill Billy. Thank you guys for watching. Subscribe to the channel, give me a like, and stay tuned, guys, for more videos. Thank you, guys. I'm out. Keep on grilling.